I got 1 good minute before the breakfast show with Marisha LaShay begins on this beautiful Monday. Not Monday, Wednesday. Okay, I felt like I had to do a little do-over for a second. Getting ready to call today Monday, and today is Wednesday. It's almost like how your grandmother call you the wrong name, and then she corrects herself. That's what I just felt like. But good morning. Thank you guys for tuning in. Feel like I got something in my eye. But yeah, I'm here with y'all. All right. And the show begins. All right, you guys. Welcome again to the Breakfast Show with Marisha LaShay. If this is your first time, welcome. If you are a returning member, thank you and welcome and welcome. All right, you guys. You know I got to definitely go ahead and give thanks to God for everything that he's doing in my life. First and foremost, I got to thank him for another day that he has allowed me to be able to open my big brown eyes. Second, I definitely have to thank him for the mojo that he gave me this morning, because I woke up and I was with it. I prayed. Along with me praying, I was able to jump right in, outline, write, have my coffee, have my little breakfast ready. So I'm thankful for that, for the food that was on my table, clothes on my back, and just the opportunity to prepare and to be here with you all. Those are my things that I'm grateful for this morning. If you feel grateful about something, feel free to share that. Feel free to drop it in the comments below. But man, I just have to always do that, because I know none of this is possible without the man upstairs. None of this is possible without God. None of this is possible without God leading me and trusting me and using me, right? So, with that being said, definitely just want to provide an overview of the history of the actual show itself. The Breakfast Show with Marisha LaShay originated when my father and I were in an initial morning meeting together. And we started shooting the breeze. I started asking questions. Those questions began to turn into content. Okay? And when those questions began to turn into content, then I began to mold this show. I came up with the order of the show. I came up with, just how it would flow, what time, everything. Meanwhile, of course, my dad and I came up with the idea for this show to air in the months that have 30 days, right? Real creative. That means 4 times out of the year, I show up, I show out, I be present. Those are in the months of November, April, June, and September, right? You probably never thought about it, but leave it to us, right? So, with that being said, I normally come on the air for 30 days. And when I come on for 30 days, I provide content for 30 days. I drop an episode a day. Meanwhile, for the next 30 days for this particular season, I will continue this marathon of using my gift of gab to inspire, motivate, and encourage others to reach for the stars based on real-world topics. This is season 5, and it is in full effect like right now. Turning it up a notch, thinking bigger and better. I'm celebrating my terrific 2 years of being in the podcast business and committing to many more years of inspiring and spreading the true word. My word is bond. And then I am so excited about this 5th season that I have reached, because I could have stopped at the 1st season, I could have stopped at the 2nd season, 3rd season, and 4th season. But God has been so good to me that he has allowed me to make it this far. And I only see myself going further. So turn down for what? And with that being said, I am moving on. So the next part of the show is when we complete a countdown. Today is day 9 of the Breakfast Show with Marisha LaShay, and we have 21 more days of content to drop and more videos and footage for you all. So that's 3 weeks left for me to continue to bless you all in the morning and to be committed to waking up and getting it done. Now, for the next part of the show, this is where I like to get a little intimate with providing you all the opportunity to take that moment to check in with yourself by checking in on your mental feelings. How are you feeling? This is the mental check-in. On a scale 1 to 10, 1 being the worst day of your life, 10 being the best day of your life. And today, I'm on infinity. And you can be off the scale. You could be below that 1, and you could be above that 10. And today, I am above that 10. I'm feeling real reserved, motivated, Xfinity. Okay? Like the company, the internet company, Xfinity. Okay? That's where I'm at. Infinity. Not Xfinity. Meanwhile, moving on. I just feel amazing. I feel amazing. I definitely feel amazing. I slept well. Man, it just feels good when you get up and you get things done. And it's the middle of the week. Got 2 more work days up in this thing. Thursday and Friday. Partially Thursday, because Fridays are my jam. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, you guys. So, with that being said, go ahead and drop them numbers on a scale of 1 to 10. Just how you feeling, checking in with yourself. And then we're going to go ahead and jump right on in for today's message. The question is, got time? Yes. You remember the commercial, got milk? But instead of do you got milk, you got time. All right. So if your answer is yes, you got time, I'm going to start with having time for yourself. And what that means is being able to utilize your time wisely. So first and foremost, you definitely want to have an actual to-do list, okay? Next, on the to-do list, there's going to be items on that particular to-do list, on the to-do list that should be completed in that order that you wrote it, okay? And when you do it like that, that allows you to be able to continue with the to-do list. But remember to include a follow-up. I noted on the exact list, under that exact item, that I am completing my follow-up on. Okay. I include the date and the time on my calendar most likely, or I will go ahead and extend myself and have a to-do list for that particular day. What if it's like months in advance and I just notate the date and then I go back and I follow up on that particular date. All right, next thing. Once everything is completed, then I feel accomplished and then I can begin to relax, okay? Which kind of provides me with my peace. Or I will go ahead and manage to do additional stuff aside from my primary focus, which is, how I effectively promote time, productivity in my life when you are motivated. Motivation is the word, motivated. Okay. And with motivation, it's driven and fueled by the plan with the implementation of time. Action comes with motion and direction. Okay. That's all I'm saying, right? But furthermore, I'm going back to touch on some things because when you have an actual to-do list and you are completing those things on that particular do list, there are 2 things that can occur. It requires you to plan ahead. Okay, that's one instance. Because if you plan ahead, then you are able to prioritize what you're actually going to do. Now, if you did not have the opportunity to plan ahead, then you get up the day of, right? At the beginning in the morning. And you begin to put your plan together. And you begin to figure out what you're going to do for that particular day. And when you do that, if you plan it the beginning part of the day, before you start the plan, make sure that you recap with yourself regarding the plan. 2 to 3 times is recommended. Okay? And after you have done so with that, then that leads you to continue on with the to-do list and to include your follow-up and to be able to include the date and the time and things like that. So after you've already then completed, you continued on, you got your follow-ups, you're going back to everything being completed. But when you are getting things completed, you have to understand the pacing and momentum is very important, especially if you have more than 3 things to complete. Or if it's less than 3 things that you have to complete, you have to remember and tell yourself, you got this. Okay? And this is going back to the main point. This is how I effectively promote time productivity in my life, because I am driven by motivation and I am motivated. However, this is saying, yes, I got time for me. That is what you do for you, for me. Now, as it relates to saying yes and you have time for others, this is when we are going to sit up here and say, hey, first things first, schedule ahead of time. Example, we're going to meet at 8 p.m. We're going to meet at 7 p.m. We're going to meet on Tuesday, 8 p.m. Saturday, 5 p.m. Sunday, 8 p.m. Okay? Number 2, follow up 24 hours in advance with that particular person, okay? Number 3, the date that you all choose, make sure the day of, hours before your scheduled time. So if you're scheduled at 8 p.m. on Tuesday, make sure the early part, that morning, early afternoon, just to make sure that you guys are still on for that appointment later on that evening. Number 4, 1 hour before, just a little reminder like they do for calendars. Hey, are we still on for 8 p.m.? That's at 7, 6:30-ish, just give it a little hour, hour and a half. 5, be prepared. Provide an agenda, a list. Just have some type of direction in which we're going to flow. 6, share with the other person 24 to 48 hours as well for a recap, for them to be able to review the agenda, the notes, whatever, per se. Or provide that in your text message when you send out, or email, whatever. That's your preference. 7, lead. Do not allow the person to shift the plan. And I'm going to follow up with my next point, 8. Provide grace and flexibility if provided in a timely manner or accordingly. I'm going to leave that up to you all, because when you got everything in order to meet with this person and to have time for them, you know what it's going to be. All right? And, well, this alleviates others and yourself from wasting your time, because you have to understand your own concept of time. That's the first takeaway. Understanding your own concept of time. Second takeaway, once time is wasted, there's no reimbursements. Okay? Number 3, no extended time periods, the same 24 hours, the same 7 days a week. You are the change maker. God leads you by being the operator and the conductor, by tapping into the connection first. If I did not mention before, here it is. Nothing is possible without you being able to connect with the Creator. Okay? He's the way maker. He's the overseer. All right? And last but not least, fourth takeaway. Be clear and stand on your intentions with the other person through communication, and address all concerns. Okay? So, if you have time for yourself, you want to understand that that is driven by motivation, fueled by the plan, with the implementation of time. Action comes with motion and direction. When you are alleviating others and yourself from wasting your time, because you have to understand first and foremost, primarily, your own concept of time. Second, once time is wasted, there are no reimbursements. 3, no extended time periods, the same 24 hours, the same 7 days a week. You are the change maker. God leads you by being the operator and the conductor, by tapping into that connection first. If I did not mention that, here it is, here it is, and here it is. And the fourth thing, be clear and stand on your intentions with the other person through communication, and address all concerns. Okay? So I didn't have to tap into, when you asked me if I got time, I didn't say no. Sometimes you won't have time, but I didn't really touch on that. I wanted to just draw the attention if yes, and then adjust the different ways. But in a later episode, probably not this season, but in, next time, I would definitely notate about being able to address got time. No. So be on the lookout for another video coming up. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. You guys have a wonderful, 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 wonderful Wednesday. Also, before I get up out of here, 2 things. Keep it a stack. That is my little goal for being able to expand my listening base. Please hit that link below for Anchor to be able to follow me and to tune into the other content that I have created. I need your help with that. I have a goal that I would like to obtain by the end of this year to reach 1,000 listeners. And my second goal is to definitely share with a friend, family member, like, comment, share this page, but also being able to continue to expand globally on multiple platforms, which is why I chose Anchor. Please feel free to tap in, listen, drop comments, feedback. I welcome it all. But because of you all, I have been able to make this possible and to obtain and actually have these goals, celebrating my 2 years of being in the podcast business. I love you guys. I thank you guys for the support constantly. This is not possible without God and without you all. So thank you guys. You have an awesome, awesome, wonderful, 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 wonderful Wednesday. Thank you guys. See y'all same time, same place.